Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Today, let's talk about the return of the greatest football video game in all of football video games. EA Sports College Football is coming back next year, and as we get closer and closer, the hype is just building up inside. The last video I made on the subject of Madden, there was a lot of breaking news on that day. But today, let's talk about expectations that we have for this game. The news came out that they're going to be using the Frostbite engine. They're going to be using Madden's engine for this game. What does that mean? Is the game going to play exactly like Madden? We don't know yet. Obviously, there is no way it can be exactly the same. They're gonna have to switch it up. They're gonna have to make it more user control, user friendly. Some more big and explosive plays can happen, especially with all the read option that's in college football. Of course, EA Sports, they're a bunch of stooges. So I'm going to throw this up on the screen right now. Here is the proposal that they have to the NCAA, basically for the rights to the exclusive simulation gameplay. So that way they can be the only game making college football, just like how they are in Madden right now. I'm sure we all feel the same way. Monopolies are bullshit and we don't need that in the gaming space. And because of monopolies, things in Madden don't get taken seriously. Like, hell, we don't even have a creative team mode. Unbelievable. But it is cool that we actually got to see this up front. There's a royalty rate to the schools that's blacked out, of course. So each school is going to be getting a percentage of the sales. And you see at the bottom, there's different tiers that these schools and everything are going to be able to get. And it says change tiers year to year based on team performance. That is very interesting. So the schools that are performing better, so like your Alabama, your Georgia, maybe those players will be earning more royalty. Hey, that's a pretty cool thing. It also says this term is 4 years, July 1st, 2023 to July 30th, 2027. So it covers 4 of the titles of college football: 24, 25, 26, and 27 football video games. That actually came out a while ago. I don't think a whole lot of people have seen that. I think it's really interesting seeing all these things play out. Okay, let's talk about the game. Now, we all know that there's going to be Ultimate Team in the game. You know, they added it in NCAA 14 and it was kind of cool. I remember like getting AJ Hawk and a couple of the Buckeyes on. I was like, hey, this is kind of sweet. And at that time, I think Ultimate Team was fairly new. I am 100% okay with them having Ultimate Team in the game as long as we still have our core fundamentals in all the other modes. You know, we need that road to glory where you can make a player from high school, go to college, ball out, and then export that player over to Madden, right? We need the online dynasties. Not only do we need the online dynasties, we need transfer portals. We need to make sure we got coaches carousel. Need the ability to fire coordinators when you're the head coach. Not only does the recruiting boards have to look amazing and updated, how do you factor in all these NIL deals? Are you going to be able to offer some kind of NIL deal to these players to get them to come play for your school? That's going to be really interesting. And I know you're not a company or whatever, but let's be honest, these head coaches have some pull, and when they're recruiting, even assistants do. This is where my worry is, okay? There's so many things that go into college football. There's so many different elements. But when you look at what Madden's going through on their team and in their franchise, like this year, we finally got shit that should have been in the game like years ago. Like if this college football game does not have a detailed dynasty, at least all the features that was in NCAA 14, if it doesn't have at least those features, this might be a bust. So I think we're all worried about that, you know. And for me, I'm big into like customizing your team and doing things like that. And I remember going on Team Builder on the computer. You could, you know, type in your team name, create your own, your own uniforms. You put your logos in there. That was the coolest thing ever, in my opinion. You know, like I said earlier in Madden, you can't even create a team. They sell so many uniforms in Ultimate Team, but why can't we just take those uniforms and put them over in franchise mode so we can enjoy them too? Oh, it's because it doesn't make them money. Duh. Those are just like some of the big things that I'm worried about with this game. Don't get me wrong. I'm extremely pumped up and jacked up, ready to go, because NCAA was my favorite game of all time. That is like all I would play. So I plan on covering that extensively and jumping into that and maining that. And I don't know if you guys remember too, I also love taking, you know, random teams going online and playing, and there was like a lobby system, and you can go in there and see your record and play against other guys who have like better records than you, and you could challenge them to games. Like, we got to have something like that for the players that don't even like Ultimate Team, that can just go in, pick their favorite school, and go up against any of the other schools online. Like, I think that would be a lot of fun. When it comes to the features in the game, what is the biggest thing that you're concerned about, or you're worried about, you're hoping that they put in the game? I think all of these concerns, you know, are valid, but hell, guys, it won't be long before we got a brand new college football game here, and we don't have to be forced to just play Madden anymore. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure you hit that sub button for me, and I'll catch you guys later.